We are about to wrap up the show, but we can't go without celebrating another woman who is doing amazingly well in her field. We are talking about something that Edma and I are very interested in. We've bought our rackets. And it's in the back of my car. Edma's on there. She's even going to register. And she's... Anyways, guys, so welcome back to the AM Club. And this morning we're talking to Naa Shika. Edu. Hey, Naa Shika Edu. She's our guest on the plug. Welcome.
Thank you.
And she just mentioned that she's also the founder of Ace Tennis Academy. And she's a brand member of Gender Equity and Equality Committee of GTF. So welcome.
Thank you.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
Thank you. And same to you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to say
Thank
same
you.
to you, but sorry. Today's our day.
It's okay. I'm here to support.
Exactly.
I'm here to support. So now welcome to our show. And it's good to have you.
for
How do you
having
feel
me.
about International Women's Day, though?
I think, first of all, it's beautiful to have women celebrated. Women should be celebrated every day. So
absolutely.
having a day like this for us is special.
Yeah. I actually agree with you on that as well. Are you not going to ask me the question?
So now let's talk about you and what you do. How did you get into tennis?
I think I've told this story like 100 times.
Please, I've not heard it all. Tell me.
So yes, some 3 years ago, my dad used to play, and then he used to play tennis. So we have a hitting wall at home.
Yeah.
And one day when he was ready to play, I just picked his racket and I started doing everything he's doing. I was like, oh my God, how did you do that?
Yeah.
And then that was it. He was like, oh, you're gonna play tennis? Sign me up. Next thing I know, school tennis was more prioritized.
Yeah.
And started playing national tournaments. Next thing I know, fell in love with the game and just took it.
From
That's
there.
it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
No.
You mentioned that it's been how long that you've
Almost
been playing?
22, 23 years.
That's brilliant. But
Yeah.
you mentioned why it's tennis because your dad used to play.
Yeah.
But do you think that you could have been good at any other sports but tennis if maybe your dad wasn't playing tennis?
I think I'm an active person. I
Yes.
like adventure, I like
Yeah.
sports, I like competition. So
Yeah.
I definitely would have seen myself in something else. Maybe not sports per
Yes.
se, but I would have been that person who just want to get into anything that competes with guys mostly. So I think I would have.
And how difficult is it? I mean, I'm now coming to learn, but how challenging has it been? Has it been challenging for you? It's been a few years. Maybe is it because it's in your genes, or is it challenging playing?
It is challenging, very. I mean, like every other sport. We most of the times we have these arguments where we're like, which sports is easier to learn? And bottom line is every sport takes different physical conditioning. And obviously, it takes a lot of work to actually get it right. So I'll say that every sport is challenging, likewise tennis. And especially in a country like Ghana where we're not so used to the sport. And then even to tell people about it, like even for my academy, for instance, like it's especially when they hear a female running a tennis academy who could play so well, that's always like the game changer. They come and like they're expecting like a male coach or something. When I pick up the phone from customers, they're like, oh, I was expecting a male voice. And I'm like, oh no.
It's a female voice.
You know? So I mean, then I have a lot of people who start appreciating the game because of these little things, because they didn't expect a woman to be doing this. So.
I mean, I played tennis when I was really, really young as well, and it was my mom.
Okay.
And she used to watch Venus and Serena play all the time, so she was like, my daughters can play also.
Please,
by force, by fire, we must play, you know. But in terms of breaking through into the international competition, how challenging was that as well? Because like you mentioned, tennis is not a sport that we really are invested into here in Ghana. So how difficult was it, or how challenging was it for you to break it through internationally?
Let's just start with very difficult. No, because it is very difficult. Sports like tennis are elite sports or a niche sport, so it's expensive to play, and that is the one thing that I think in Ghana we lack when it comes to every other lesser known sports apart from football. So, I mean, sponsoring someone to play tennis is so expensive.
Yes.
And for me, as a player, as a national player back then, that was one of my biggest challenges. I actually put my career on hold or like retired because of sponsorship.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot. Like you need to be traveling every week. You're changing cities, you're changing countries, and you move and you stay in a hotel. Like you need to afford a coach, a physical instructor, like a whole lot. Like it's so much. And back then, a lot of the companies in Ghana were not very open to that amount of money being spent on one single player to become a great player. So I would say that internationally it would take us a lot as a country to be able to produce players and actually match up. There were times back then Ghana used to be very good in tennis. We used to compete in Davis Cup against countries like UK and Armenia. But now everything's just going down and we're trying to bring it up again. So.
Okay, but now let's talk about Ace Tennis Academy and why the idea in the first place.
So in Europe, I had the opportunity to train with some very good coaches, have the opportunity to move around, play, and I realized that most of my friends were traveling outside the country. They would stay and not come back, like every sports person do. But for me, I saw that as an opportunity because I was like, if Europe can have this quality training and produce players and make money out of it, we can equally. It simply means that a developing country has a potential to get there. It takes work, which someone has to do, and then it takes someone who just has a passion for it.
Absolutely.
I saw an opportunity, and I also saw an opportunity to relive my career and my dreams through the kids that I raise. So my love for the first thing I look at is the kid has to play very good tennis. Like I have adult sessions, but I'm like, you guys just come have fun, work out, and then go home. But for the kids, I'm very passionate. We're very meticulous with your training. We make sure that they're going through like the right training. Everything is on point. Discipline is the first thing that we like enforce in our academy. So
That's really cool.
That's how I started.
That's amazing, and I know for a fact that you're really impacting people in the academy as well, and outside of the academy too. But in your opinion, what empowerment or motivational message? I know that it sounds cliche every time when I ask these kind of things because God knows I don't even listen to motivational speakers. But I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people find motivation in what other people say. So what do you have to say to the little girl watching you right now who wants to even venture into any kind of sports and not necessarily tennis? What do you have to say to them?
Before I say anything, growing up, I never had any sports role models like in Ghana. I never saw any woman who has either played sports and actually, done something that would look at them like, oh, I want to be like her. And so for me, I started a program called She in Action where I was recruiting girls from the university who are interested in sports to do like an on-the-job training at my academy. And the main reason why I did that, which revolve around my what I have to say to young girls, is that there are times when we have dreams and goals, but we don't have people or someone to emulate or someone to copy. But that shouldn't stop you from following your dreams. There's YouTube, there's internet, there's whatever. Like now, social media is being used for all sort of things. You might as well use it for something good and follow your dreams, whether you have a role model or not. People like me, we will try as much as possible to be those role models, but don't let that stop you. Just go out there. When you have a dream, use the internet. If there's no one in Ghana who actually lives their dream, that's why use the internet. Use the internet, get yourself educated, get the knowledge, go out there, follow your life path.
Quick one now. So before we let you go, are there women out there you like to celebrate?
My mom.
Of course. It has to be the mother.
My mom.
The mom.
She's been she's done beyond exceptional. She's gone beyond exceptional. And I remember I had a very strict dad who used to train me. And he was like very, very, very strict, very hard. And I remember all those days when my mom would be like, after every training, sometimes 9 hours a day. And I was just a teen, like 13, 12, 14. I was doing 9 hours a day. And then after all the sessions, my mom would be like, you're good and you got this. And just keep going at it. Someday it's all going to pay off. So I still remember those things that she used to say, and I still want to make her proud. So I'll say
that's amazing.
Big up, mommy. What's her name?
Irama Beecham.
Irama Beecham, please. We celebrate you. Thank you so much for this wonderful young lady.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to contact you, connect with you, where do they go to?
I'll say that they should follow our Instagram page, Ace Tennis Academy Ghana, or they can follow Nash_Edu.
Okay, fantastic. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an amazing show today. Happy International